All right, so this is the notes for the last page in the notes packet, the one that says expresar opiniones at the top. And this page is all about el verbo gustar. Gustar. And this verb we use to express likes or dislikes. So the verb gustar means to like. And then we have the 6 different forms of it. Now, this verb gustar is a little bit different from ser, and actually different from a lot of other verbs that we're going to be learning about this year. One of the main things being that each form of the verb gustar uses gusta. It's just what comes in front of it that changes. So for example, we have a mí me gusta, a ti te gusta, a él le gusta, a ella le gusta, and so on and so forth. So all of them use gusta. It's just what comes in front of it that we change based on who the subject is. So if we say a mí me gusta, that means I like. A ti te gusta is you like, and that's informal. A él le gusta is he likes. A ella le gusta is she likes. And a usted le gusta is you like, but the formal version. So there's all these singular forms talking about one person. Then on the right side, the plural forms, we have a nosotros nos gusta, which is we like. A vosotros os gusta is y'all like. And this one is only used in Spain. And then in the last box, the first two, a ellos les gusta and a ellas les gusta, both mean the same thing. It's just that one is masculine and one is feminine. So just to save ourselves a little bit of writing, let's just mark that this is the masculine one first, and this is the feminine one. But they both mean they like. And then a ustedes les gusta is you all like. All right, now there's 2 things that I want to point out to you guys about this. Part of this is because gustar is such a weird verb, very different from all the other verbs that we're going to talk about. The first is that if you have heard this phrase before, or you've heard gustar used at some point, like you may have heard people say like, "Oh, me gusta, I like it." You probably have not heard them say, "A mí me gusta." So using the whole thing, a mí me gusta, a ti te gusta, it means the exact same thing as just saying me gusta. So a mí me gusta and me gusta both mean the same thing. There's just different contexts where someone might choose to use one or the other. It's not like one is more correct or better than the other. Typically speaking, I will choose to just use the shorter version just because it's simpler, less writing or less speaking. So for the first 2 rows, the first 2 words are optional. So the a mí, go ahead and mark in parentheses because that's optional. A mí me gusta, good, fine. Me gusta, also good. Same thing with a ti te gusta. The a ti is optional. A nosotros, also optional. And a vosotros, also optional. So if I'm trying to say we like, I can either say a nosotros nos gusta, or I could just say nos gusta. Now, the reason why we are not marking anything as optional in these bottom 2 rows here, or this bottom row, is because if I just say le gusta, it could mean 3 different things. So for these ones, and same thing over here, if I say les gusta, it could have three different meanings. And always with language, we want to avoid miscommunication as much as possible. So for these ones, you do need to include the whole phrase, a él le gusta. Because if I just say le gusta, it could mean he likes, she likes, or if I'm being formal, you like. But if I say a él le gusta, then there's only one possible meaning. It could only mean he likes. So for these two boxes at the bottom, nothing is optional about these. You need to include the whole phrase to avoid any miscommunications. All right, and the second thing that I want to point out with this is that sometimes if we're using this verb, like we have just done, we can express things that we like with it. We can also express things we don't like. So saying that we don't like something is very easy. We just have to put the word no in. So I'm going to mark that with a green. So the only thing that is a little bit weird about it is the placement. So if I want to say I don't like, I'm going to put it right in the middle. So I would either say a mí no me gusta, or I could just say no me gusta. But either way, it goes right in front of the me gusta part. Same thing for you like. The no would go right there in the middle. So if I'm trying to say you like pizza, I could say a ti te gusta pizza, or I could say te gusta pizza. If I want to say you don't like pizza, I could say a ti no te gusta pizza, or I could just say no te gusta pizza. So for each one, go ahead and just mark with an arrow that this is where the no would go if we were trying to say that someone or ourselves doesn't like something. All we just have to do is put a no right there. All right, so let's go ahead and look at some practice sentences. So using the chart above, figure out how you would best complete each sentence. So for these, number one, I see it says a mí, and notice there is an accent mark on the I and me, a mí. And then when I look up at my chart and I see a mí, I see it's next to me gusta. So that's what I'm going to fill in here. Me gusta. I don't know why my pencil is glitching out. There we go. Me gusta. All right, and then same thing for number two, a ella. When I look up at the chart, I can see a ella goes with le gusta. Le gusta. In fact, you could even, because we know we're using gustar for all of these, and we know that all the forms of gustar, we just use gusta. You could even just fill in all of these first, because we know that anytime we're using gustar in a sentence, we're just saying gusta. Because the only thing that changes with each of the forms is the word that goes in front of the gusta. So it's either me, te, le, nos, os, les. Those are the only 6 options for what goes in front of it. So a nosotros nos gusta. A ellas les gusta. Pero a ti te gusta. A vosotras os gusta. A él le gusta. A ellos les gusta. A mí no me gusta hacer la tarea. So here we can see an example of we're saying that we don't like something, and we just put the no right in between the a mí and the me gusta part. You could also remember, because this part is optional, we could also just say no me gusta hacer la tarea, and that would also be perfectly correct. All right, and the last one, ¿qué blank gusta hacer a ti? So oftentimes in questions in Spanish, the subject comes at the end, which is different from how it is in English. So for this one, we would need to look at the end of the question, because there's nothing here that tells us what subject it is. ¿Qué just means what. But here at the end, I see it says a ti. So looking up at the chart, I see the a ti goes with te gusta.